Okay, so three different things. So the best way to do this is to separate them. So I like to set up y equals whatever the biggest thing. So see how it's cubed? So what you want to do is you want to write y equals x cubed. Then you need to define what x is. X is going to be the cosine of 8 angle. So I'm going to make cosine of 8 angle. And then, or cosine of u. And then u is going to equal 8 angle. So now I have 3 parts. So you start with the biggest part, and then you're going to chain roll the biggest part. So we're going to have whatever is inside cubed. So we're going to do the angle. When it's cubed, you take 3.
What am I using to take the derivative of x times f of x? Product rule. Second, f of x. D first. What's the derivative of x? 1. Plus first, x. D second. What's the derivative of f? F. Plus, how do I take the derivative of g of u? Derivative of the, what rule is this? G of another function, composition of u prime, chain rule. Derivative of the outside, whose derivative of g? I don't know, g prime. Keep the inside the same, times derivative of the inside is 2. I need a product rule for the first one. Plus chain rule. Derivative of the outside is g prime.
Why is the first
Keep
part,
the inside times 2.
why is the first part only f of x?
Second d first. Second, write the f of x, derivative of the first, derivative of x.
Oh, got it.
So now, they want h of, or I should say h prime of who? 3. Now, once I have a formula, now I'm allowed to start plugging and chugging. Meaning, I'm going to go ahead and take my f of plus x times f prime of plus g prime of times 2. And I'm going to say, hey, any x becomes a 3. That's a 3, that's a 3, that's a 3. 2 times 3 minus 5 is 1. And now, my very last step is to go to my table or go to my clues, whatever they tell me. F of 3 is who? F value at 3 is negative 4 plus 3 times F prime value at 3 is 4 plus G prime at 1 is negative 2 times 2. Final answer, negative 4 plus 12 minus 4. That's going to end up being 12 minus 8 is 4. Please be an answer, and it, let me circle it, is. Did you guys see some of these table-y, cluey ones in homework? Yes. This has been prepped for the AP. Maybe something probably a little bit shorter on the test tomorrow like this. You have to be able to take rules or derivatives using rules. Now, number 192, there was no weird, like, extra clues going on. 192 just gave you a function and said, find the first derivative, right? But before I ever find the first derivative, I would rewrite, and I would say, don't get tricked by the trick. What's it mean if it says cosine cubed? Cosine of 8 theta, all cubed. Remember, that's just rewriting, no derivative, just rewriting. Now we say we have cubed, u cubed, a function cubed. How do I take a derivative of something cubed? Power rule, and then I don't forget chain rule. Bring down the 3. Look at that silly Matryoshka thing. Just look at the cube. Bring down the 3, make it a 2 times. Don't you dare touch the inside. Bring down the 3, make it a 2. Keep the inside the same. Derivative of the outside, keeping the inside the same times. Now work your way in. Peel off the cube. Who's next? Cosine. Derivative of cosine is negative sign, keep his inside the same. But I'm not done yet because
You still you.
we still have one more inside. Bring down a 3, make it a 2 times. Make, or take the derivative of negative cosine, add cosine to make it negative sign. Keep the inside the same. Times the derivative of, peel off the cosine. What's the derivative of 8 variable? Just 8. And technically, you could go about simplifying, or you could very carefully come over here and say, I have a negative, 3 times 8 is 24, and that causes operating. And I have cosine squared sine, negative 24 cosine squared sine. That only works with one of them, and you just save a little bit of time. Remember last one. Now maybe you didn't get this far, and we're not going to spend tons of time. I just want to make sure you know what you should have or should do. Number 193 says, hold on, let me see, can I get this to scroll down? Yeah, I can. There we go. Number 193 says, the function g is defined at, okay, whatever, there's an equation. Find the slope of the tangent line to the graph at. What does it mean if it says find the slope of the tangent line? Who is that? The derivative. And if they don't tell you using the definition, you're allowed to use your rules, right? No limits. Use your rules. So to find the derivative, I want to find, long story short, g prime of 1. But to find g prime of 1, who do I need to find first? G prime of x. We're plugging in that 1 until we take a derivative. Now he should look kind of familiar, because we just did somebody cubed in the last problem. So how do I take the derivative of somebody cubed? Power rule first. In the midst of a chain rule, bring down the 3. Keep the stuff the same. Derivative of the outside, bring down the 3, make it a 2. Times. Peel off the cube. The only thing you have left is who? 2x squared plus 1. What's the derivative of 2x squared plus 1? 4x. I'm not done yet until I plug in a 1, but guys, I have a derivative all ready to get plugged in, right? I'm doing the 3 times 4 to be a 12. I'm moving the x in front, and g prime of 1 says let x be 1. Then I have 2 times 1 squared plus 1 squared. 12 times 1 is 12. 2 times whatever 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 squared is. And 12 times 9 is 1/8. What's my slope? 1/8. Because g prime of 1 is 1. Find the equation of the tangent line. Further part. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Give me 1 second. Y minus equals x minus. The easiest thing to plug in is the 1, because they say x equals 1. So that's your x1. M, wait, we just did that. Who's M? 1, 8. Huh. Why 1? An original function like f of x, that's a y equals. Plug in 1. So I can say to find a this a 1, I just find g of 1. And g of 1, 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 cubed is 27. Kiddos, if this was on a test, don't waste time. Box it. Stick it to the man. I'll say it's great. As long as all the pieces are. Okay. Ella, what was your question?
We got it.
It's good. Yeah. Letter C technically isn't a huge focus of tomorrow's test, but if we were to have to find a horizontal tangent, we would take the tangent slopes, g prime of x, and we would say, where are you? 0. And we would just solve. And this one to solve, we'd have to like FOIL it and then like factor it. We'll use our calculator, so we're not going to stress about that. Horizontal tangents won't even be on the test tomorrow. We'll see it in the future. And then how do you find a second derivative? G double prime. We take G prime and we go again. So let's rewrite G prime real quick. Is 12x, 2x squared plus 1 squared. I don't answer problems in blue. Why do I have a blue eye? Who is it? 12x times. What rule do I need? Product rule. Unless I want to FOIL, bring in a 12x, have pluses or minuses, well, all pluses, of different terms, and then take the derivative. But if you're going to take the derivative, the way it looks, without distributing stuff, you need to go like this. And some of you are like, maybe I'll just FOIL. If it wasn't multiple choice, you go with whatever you want. Angela.
Can you not just use the power rule for this one?
Not if I have a first times a second.
So
If that was just a 12, I could rewrite them, I'm done. But since it's a 12x, that's an f times a 2. Does that make sense? So I would have second, the first derivative of 12x is 1. Plus first, that's just 12x. The second, you guys see how to do chain rule? Don't grunt. If you saw it was chain rule, that's good. That means you see it. So the derivative of triangle, I have to say, something squared. Oh. Bring down the 2. Keep the inside the same. To the first power, bring down the 2, make it a 1 times. And technically, kiddos, if this was a long answer problem, no, I'm not kidding. Box it, you're done. It's a long answer problem. Box it, you're done. Sound good? Or some of these hard. So let's go ahead. Let's take a time out because your test review, it didn't go hard right away, did it? Well, maybe. It went back to the limit definition. But then you got some easy derivatives, hopefully, or at least some more basic ones. So let's go ahead and go to your test review before we go to more practice problems. Let's do a single page. Let me go ahead and open up your test review. Just a heads up, I am taping all of this. If you want to rewatch it tonight, if you want to listen to my explanations of problems tonight, I'd say go for it. Remember, I'm not going to work out all of your questions. I don't think that'd be a good use of your time or my time. Instead, I'm going to open the boards. Uh-oh. We'll pause the recording when we start. We'll open the boards. And we'll let people start working stuff out. But were there any ones not 67? It's on the board. You can take a picture. You can roll over it tonight. And then you can upon it, but not in a sacrilegious sort of way. Question. What do we have? Rachel? 29. 53. 65. Okay. What other ones? Hit them off, Katrina. 41. What else? Okay. Do I have volunteers for any of them? Brandon, what do you want? 65. It's yours. Just grab a marker from the cutlery box. I don't know. That's you guys. Bridget. 41. It's yours. Grab a marker from the cutlery box. Grab a spot on the board. Ryan. Does anybody want 29 or 53? No one wants 29 or 53? I know. He could take either one. Andrea, which one do you want? Okay. So Ryan, take 53. Alright, you guys can grab a marker from the cutlery box, come find a space on the board up here at the front. The rest of you guys, you can, if you want, you can just start from the beginning of the test review. Here's the assignment. If you didn't get to start it last month, here's some free time over the work. You can take pictures of the review. I mean, the only one I can see where there would be a need. Let me pause the recording. Just let my phone board. I kind of tweaked 67. It was super close. Just Ryan forgot to square it on the X and it messed things up a little bit. It's a lot prettier than it was before. But I want you to look at these multiple choice. And to be honest, I'm not going to go through and solve each one. What I'm going to do, I'm recording, is I'm just going to ask, do we know how to start? And then the answers will be posted in the notes online for every single one, just the multiple choice answers. And you can use them as a practice test. Multiple choice answers are at the very end of each of the problems. Sound good? Number 1. What do you have to think about to pick an answer choice if it asks which one represents or can calculate the derivative? There are delta x's. It must be talking about the definition. The definition. And the definition says f prime of x equals the limit. He doesn't have a limit and he doesn't have a limit. Forget those. The limit of f of x plus h, or f of x plus delta x. Which one is putting x plus delta x inside of f? You know the ones like doing some weird, I don't know, magic that pre-calc kids do. You need to put it inside. Right.
On the actual AP test, like how long would we have to do something like this?
If every single problem took you the exact amount of time, about 1 second. But some will take you a lot shorter, like that one maybe 30 seconds, if you knew it really well. So then you have a little more time for others. Alan.
Wait, on the multiple choice test, you don't have to show you're working.
No. You're filling in basically as Canada.
Really?
Well, that's, yeah, separate part. Good. Number 2, use the definition of derivative. Is that a good test review problem? Yes, so let's skip it for now. Okay, and we have examples of that in 2.1. Sorry, that was for work if we needed it. How do you start? Number 3. Top. Bottom D top. I know, keep working on that. But bottom D top minus top D bottom all over bottom squared. I'm not going to do it, I'm just saying what to do, right? Number 4. Equation for the tangent line. Derivative is your
First step, and then we get the
slope. And then you figure out how to, right?
X equals 1 to f.
Okay. Let me keep going. That was for work if we needed it. It's saved online. You can use it as a practice test. I'm just having us think through how to start problems. Okay, hold on. We have who? We have who? Focus. We have who? Position. Who are we trying to find? How do we find acceleration from position? We gotta take it twice. And then plug in. Remember? X prime. Go again. X prime, and then take another derivative after you have x prime. Okay. Ugly, but still possible. Number 6. Number 6. A particle moves along, blah, 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 position. Guys, you're wasting your time. There are 13 of these. We're only going to get through like now 7. A particle moves along, position, here it is. At what time is the particle, at what time, never say it in calculus, is the particle at rest? Who is No.
You gotta
It
get
doesn't
velocity
say it's
first.
at the first position. It says it's stopped, meaning the velocity,
equals 0.
who is position prime, is 0.
Yeah.
I need to find him, set him equal to 0, and solve, right? Silly work pages. How do I start? Product rule. Uh-oh. What does he look kind of like that we didn't like? He has a square root, which means when we take a derivative, might we have to simplify to make it nice and pretty in one non-complex fraction?
Yeah.
Just warning. How would I start? Chain rule, bring down the 7, etc. I'm here at lunch. We can work through multiple choice problems. I'm here after school. If you need me, you know where to find me. 7:45 in the morning. Bye, guys. Have your notes on Style ready to go. To solve this, there's only one way to calculate change.
I'm still I always said she makes me do calculate all. And then